Hello everyone, this is Sarah, aka OasisWinds. This is a little small talk for how to become a professional illustrator or an artist. The reason being is because in DeviantArt, the very sweet Strawberry Lightning is actually doing a report for school and had two questions for me of how I did it. And I have time, and I'm actually taking a break from drawing, so I'm going to go ahead and do this here so everyone can hear it because it's hilarious, honestly. Well, pretty much you wanted to know how I got this as a career. Well, as a career, I've always been drawing, so to be honest, I did not see my talent or the ability that I have as something to have as a job and make money. It was a hobby. It is a hobby. I mean, it's great to draw, clear your head. I love it. It's a passion. It's talent. Ooh, it just makes me very darn happy. But I actually never took any art classes for it because they never really taught me something new or showed me anything. And they're mostly because I actually had some pretty bad art teachers. I took their classes maybe for 1 or 2 days, and then I was like, oop, I am out of here. They're not teaching me anything. Now, that happened because I drew since I was very little. I had lots of spare time, so I've always been drawing in my room ever since I was a little girl. So that gives me a lot of practice for improvement. Plus, my dad is also a painter, so there were things that I learned from home because of that. I come from an artistically based family. So therefore, with that in mind, I saw art as a hobby, a talent that was great, you enjoy it, it's fun, but not for work. So I actually went into the nursing career because I like poking people with needles and medical procedures like stitches and, things like that. It's fun. I love it. So I decided to do that instead. Now, it was not until I was out in the real world that I was working out of college, I was working full time, that I realized that people started asking me for pictures. For commissions. It was doctors, teachers, business people, and I eventually ended up joining DeviantArt because I was like, hey, a fun website to post art and fandoms and things like that so I can enjoy it, and share with people. So I got in there, and that eventually led for me to open up my own business aside from online clientele. Now what happened was, with that, I realized I can make a living, make money without starving out of drawing. So I decided to become a freelance illustrator. I left working in the nursing field and I went into art. And from there, eventually, after let's say 5 or 3 years, I discovered a animation studio in Salt Lake City. It's called Too Many Legs Animation Studio. And if you ever come to Utah and go to Salt Lake, Trolley Square, you'll be able to go in and take a look. They're really nice. And what happened is I just randomly popped in, showed my portfolio, and they liked my work. They're like, hey, this is pretty good. I was super nervous, didn't know if I was going to be accepted because I have no schooling, and they just took me in as a loving family. Now, I'll be honest, I hardly go in nowadays because I'm so darn busy with my own work, working on my book, and just my clientele that I really don't go to the studio that much as I should. But, every once in a while I'll pop in. I'm like, hey, what's up? I love you guys. Keep up the art. Thumbs up. Woo! I go in for that and maybe doodle something. But, I have my own thing. Now, in a nutshell, this is what happens. This is how my career works. I draw, and I make money out of drawing. Now, I won't say that everything I draw, I love to draw, because unfortunately, you can't always draw what you want. You have to do what the client wants. You have to animate, you have to draw, whatever, what the client wants, paint, you name it. And sometimes some clientele needs something very simple for who knows what, like a stick man. So sometimes you're stuck drawing a very simple, crappy stick man when you know you have the capacity to create a masterpiece, something really beautiful, complicated, detailed, a challenge, but you're stuck doing a stick man. So, what you do is you smile, you nod your head, you're like an idiot, and you're like, yeah, I'll draw your stick man, just give me your money, that's how it is. Now, I won't say all clients want simple stick man. Some people want complicated illustrations, but there are times that you do get frustrated because you're stuck drawing a stick man. And, well, you do it for the money, or else you would starve, which we don't want to starve. We want to make a living out of this field as a profession. Now, my philosophy towards art is this. It's just a couple of things. Practice. That sums it up. If you love something and you can do it for a living, do it. Okay? It does take sacrifice dealing with dumb clients, and sometimes you do get art blocks, things like that, your mood swings. Unfortunately, as an artist, we all get that. But if you stop, you will fail. So never stop. And I cannot emphasize the fact that do not stop what you're doing, because if you stop, you're stuck. You will dump and go dump, 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 dump. You don't want to stop. You want to keep going. You don't want to fail. This is your career. This is your passion. Pursue it. Now, I know also a lot of people say, hey, you want to be an artist? Go to school. Study this. That way if you go to school, you'll be able to draw anything, paint anything, do Photoshop anything, animate anything, you name it. Whatever you want to create, you'll be able to do it if you go to school. Now, I have no schooling, so that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. But school does help you to improve your talent. But if you don't have money, let's say you're kind of broke, or you say I don't have $1,000 to spare for a semester, don't feel too bad. You can still be an artist. You can still be a professional. It just might take a little rougher, a little longer. That's what happened to me. It takes a little longer to do this on your own, but it's not impossible. You do not learn talent from school. School helps you evolve your talent when you have it, but talent comes from you. It comes from you practicing. It comes from your efforts. You're born with talent. That's why I always say, hey, if you're an artist and you have talent, it's God-given. Because people sometimes go to school and they lack the ability of talent. And unfortunately, even in the industry, the graphic industry or whatever, in a studio, you will see people who have no talent, but yet they're still there because they have the digital needs that they need. They're good with the computers. There's things they can do. They don't have talent. They can't draw you a hand, but they have abilities, and that's actually something you will see in the industry. So you'll kind of see people who do have talent, but and people just don't have a talent at all, but they're still there. They're part of a team. Now, if you want to be an independent artist, then I do suggest that you evaluate if you have talent or not. Because as a team, there's a spot for everyone. As an individual, as an artist, the people who progress are the people who have talent. And if you're like, oh, well, I'm not sure. You know what? Practice. And you will see if you have talent or not. And if sometimes people are like, oh, I don't have talent. And I look at them draw, I'm like, are you kidding me? This is fantastic. So don't put yourself down either. Don't. Be logical. If you see you have it, take advantage of it, But again, school does not give you talent. It helps you practice, etc. But if you don't have school, you know what? If you can't afford it, who cares? Keep going. You can do this on your own. You have the talent, not the school. And there's Google, there's YouTube, there's a lot of things that can help you learn as well, different techniques to improve your ability. Now, with that said, I know most of this, I'm assuming this is for students. Keep going in school. Keep practicing. And pretty much, if you go to school or if you don't, if you can't afford school, okay. But if you keep wanting to be an artist, work really hard. Do not stop or you will fail. So keep going. And unfortunately, there's a lot of bumps in the road. But like anything, regardless what career you take, there will be bumps in the road from a dentist to an artist. So don't let that get you down. But just keep going. Don't stop. And if you do so, when you least realize it, you, my dear, will take wings and will be a professional artist. You will be awesome! And people will be like, oh, that's so-and-so, and who knows what. And this is what I tell myself every day because I'm slowly getting there. I'm a professional, but not as high as I want to be quite yet. So don't worry. It takes steps, but do not stop. Keep drawing, keep practicing, and you will get there. Do not stop. And always make room for improvement. Criticism is good, yes. But don't don't let people actually over-abuse criticism because honestly, I'm one of those traditional artists that are like, I think my opinion counts, and if someone else comments, unless they can draw better than me, I will not take their opinion. That's just the type of artist I am, and I know there's a lot of people like me. But every once in a while, it's good to listen. Even people who have no talent or can't draw, or maybe they just like to play an instrument, they can still distinguish a good quality piece of art. So be open to criticism, but don't get overloaded because then it's going to bring you down. Anyhow, that's just my talk. Hopefully it will help. And you know what? This is OasisWinds. This is Sarah. You have a wonderful, wonderful day. And keep practicing. You, my dears, are going to become amazing artists. And soon I will be wanting your autographs. Have an awesome day. The phone's ringing. I got to go. Toodles!